Yo, what's going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today I've got a very juicy video for you guys. Basically, we're going to be talking about the brand new Shikamaru novel. Now, I don't think it's fully translated, and I don't know if it's out just... I'm not too sure on the whole situation on it, about how far through the translation is, etc. But a good friend of mine on Twitter did link me to a Tumblr post that had a passage of the novel translated, and it really caught my attention because a lot of stuff in there I didn't think would actually happen again in the Naruto verse. It took me by surprise, so I thought this would be an interesting video for me to kind of relay this information onto you guys. I will also leave the link to where I got all this from in the description, so you can go and read it for yourselves, because I'm not going to be reading the entire passage as you'd say, but we are going to be covering what I find to be the more interesting parts. So without further ado, let's jump into this Shikamaru novel. So then, as you can probably tell by the title, this passage is all about distrust between the villages and the Shinobi Alliance. It's seeming to be falling apart. Yeah, that's what I meant by I didn't think we'd ever see this again in the Narutoverse, and that being villages starting to not trust each other that much anymore, and maybe, just maybe, having battles between the two. That'd be... I didn't think we'd see this again in Naruto. I thought the Shinobi world had moved past this, but once I read out some of these bits, you'll see that that's not looking likely. Stuff's about to hit the fan, you could say. So then I've took out the main bits that I think are most interesting from this passage. I'm going to read it to you. Basically, Kurotsuchi, I don't know how you say the name, but the Tsuchikage, and also you'll see Chodro, the Mizukage, they seem to be losing a little bit of trust with the Leaf Village. Now, I'll jump into this. So beneath her hair, her eyes were fixated on Naruto. The air was thick with tension. So let me just set the scene. This takes place after the Momoshiki attack, once they're all back, and they're having a Kage meeting, a Kage summit, whatever you'd like to call it, and straight away, the room, it's not somewhere you want to be. The room is full of tension. And then, quoting now, anyway, this event really was troublesome for everyone. If you don't want this happening again in the future, we'll have to be more cautious. And then Kurotsuchi muttered something that sounded like, "This is ridiculous." So straight away, she's not happy to be there, and she finds the whole farce of it all just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, here we go. Kurotsuchi was yelling at Naruto, "I can't just forget what happened during the tuning exam. That tool used by your son, what was it?" she asked. So straight away, the whole scientific ninja technology, alarm bells ringing. What kind of things has Konoha been making in secret? What do you think we'd do when we found out? She demanded. So straight away, we find out that it seems as though these other villages have no idea that the scientific ninja tools were actually in creation. They had no idea they were being made, and this is kind of actually pointed out or hinted at by Katsusuke. I'm pretty sure he says when Boruto cheats, he says something like, "Everyone behold this scientific ninja tool, blah blah blah." He's trying to sell it to all the other villages because he's saying, you know, it could be a good income for Konoha, and that's when Naruto's saying, no, it's prohibited, blah blah blah. This is where we go. That tool is too dangerous. If all of Konoha had these weapons, I couldn't stay calm at all. So there we go. This is where the trust issues start to come into place. Clearly, the Tsuchikage is not a big fan of Naruto and Konoha as a whole producing these weapons, these incredibly powerful weapons, may I add, that, and the other villagers were just completely left in the dark about it all. And then basically Shikamaru's basically talking, saying, you know, trying to basically talk no jutsu. You can tell Shikamaru's really picked up the whole talk no jutsu stuff, after spending some time with Naruto, but he talks to him, he tries to explain the situation. Darui, who is actually on Shikamaru Naruto's side, he's saying, well, I'm with Shikamaru, blah, blah, blah. And that's then when Chojuro comes in, saying, are you sure about that? Chojuro asked, his hand covering half of his face. And this is some interesting information. So Chojoro's not exactly come out and said he's completely against it, but he's not supporting it either. He seems more on the Tsuchikage's thoughts on all this. But we find out that, however, in the Hidden Mist, well, basically I'll just tell you in short. Basically, the Hidden Mist and Hidden Stone over time have actually formed a relationship together. Basically, the Hidden Mist village, they're running very low on materials such as like iron, stone, like minerals. They've got a mineral shortage, so they've struck a deal with the Hidden Stone, so they import minerals from the Hidden Stone village, and in return the Hidden Stone village, who have a water shortage, actually get water from the Hidden Mist. So obviously over the years, Chojuro and Kuratsuchi, is that how you say them? Tsuchikage and the Mizukage, they've clearly created quite a relationship, and they're definitely on good terms. They seem to be the equivalent of what the Sand and the Leaf village used to be like back in the day, and well, to this day as well. But this is again where, Kuratsuchi, part of me doesn't know what to say, because she's kind of spitting facts, if I'm honest. So this is where she then talks about Sasuke. She says, Sasuke was on the Akatsuki side, wasn't he? Kuratsuchi asked. Originally, that guy was from Konoha. As with the missing ninja behind the Fourth War, she has a point. All the Fourth War was because of Konoha. That was a long time ago. Naruto had lost his calm, as he always does when he comes to Sasuke. So clearly, Naruto's past the whole trying to just talk it out. He's starting to lose his temper a bit, Naruto is here. As, like it said, he always does when the topic shifts to Sasuke being a criminal. The man who tried to destroy our world was protected by Konoha. Moreover, he was allowed to walk our world and make reports about other countries. A man like that is a spy, she declared. So, straight away, she's saying that she doesn't appreciate Konoha creating these monstrous tools behind all the other villagers' backs. She's starting to lose trust in them, and now she's calling Sasuke a spy. Yeah, it's all getting a bit juicy, and then Shikamaru then delivers another speech, blah blah blah. I'll let you read the speech in the description. And that's when Chojuro, Darui nodded along with Shikamaru's speech, and then Garo also agrees, he's obviously on Naruto's side, and Darui also seems to be on the side of Naruto. But then Chojuro comes back into the equation, where Chojuro had his brow furrowed at Shikamaru's words, and then he says, I won't be deceived by some fancy speech, he said firmly. So Chojuro and the Tsuchikage, they're clearly trust issues. It's becoming a big problem, and like I said at the start of the video, kind of surprises me because I didn't think this would be a thing again. Her thin arm slammed the desk. Konoha has too many secrets, but due to your military strength, we'll cooperate as long as our conditions are met. I want Konoha to disclose all of its confidential information as proof of their commitment to peace, she declared. And you know what? I think that's perfectly reasonable. I'm not a huge Tsuchikage fan, and I know a lot of people who have read this passage were saying, boy, do I hate the Tsuchikage. And you know what? I can kind of understand it. But at the same time, I kind of see where she's coming from. They're meant to be all at peace and all working together. But, Konoha seems to be having some secrets that they're not telling everybody. But we'll see. Naruto was at a loss for words. Shikamaru put his hands behind him and stepped back to the edge of the room. A disclosure of information would strip Konoha naked. What would they do? If you refuse this request, the village hidden in the stones will not hesitate to leave this alliance, Kuratsuchi said firmly. Please let me think it over, Naruto said. And then, finishing it off, I await your answer at our next meeting, she said, glancing at Shikamaru before leaving the room. Now, like I said, I'm going to leave this in the description below because I do heavily recommend you go read this up because, like I said, I mean, I covered the most points, but it genuinely is extremely interesting. And the other thing I want to talk about is the whole, is it canon, is it not canon? Because I've spoken to multiple people and I'm going to ask you guys the same question because honestly, I have zero idea what to think because I ask someone, are the novels canon? They say no. I ask someone else, are the novels canon? They say yes. Someone else, no, yes, no, yes. Constantly back and forth. I have no idea what to make of these canons of these novels because I'll be honest, I never really read the novels. I've read summaries, I know what happens, I own some of them, I'm just not finished reading them, and I just presumed they were canon, but then I have people saying that they're not canon because they're not written by Kishimoto and all this stuff, so I want to pass this question on to you guys. Are these novels canon? And if they are, it looks like we could be getting this animated before the Mujina Bandits arc in the anime because I think there's 3 novels. There's a Naruto one, a Sasuke one, and a Shikamaru one that all take place after the Chunin exams and Momoshiki's attack. So obviously in the anime at the minute we're going to have a little mini 3-episode shoujo arc, and then after that everyone's a little bit unsure. Now with these are canon, this could be putting us in that direction, and if these are canon, it's going to be very, very interesting because if we look at the threats already in the Boruto story, obviously I'm not going to try and spoil that much for anime onlys, but basically if you're not a manga reader, there is a team, an organisation, whatever you want to call it, that do pose a threat. There is also obviously the Otsutsuki clan, which we saw in the latest arc in the anime with Momoshiki. Obviously Urashiki, an extremely mysterious individual right now. We have no idea which way he's swinging, what team he's going to be a part of. But like I said, we've also got the Otsutsuki clan as well. And also, adding on top of that, the possibility of villages going back to how it used to be in the olden days of not trusting each other and potentially going at war at different villages. It's all crazy. And if, like I said, if this is canon, I have no idea where it's going to lead. If it is canon, I do hope it just doesn't end in a talk no jutsu for Naruto because, honestly, it does make sense. I'll be that person to say that I do understand where the Tsuchikage is coming from. The Mizukage? No, because Naruto's been nothing but nice to Chojuro. I mean, I'm not a massive Chojuro fan. If I'm honest, Chojuro's a bit of a melt. He's a bit of a melt. But we'll see. I want you guys to let me know what your thoughts are on this novel, on this passage from the novel anyway. And subscribe if you're not already. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in another video. But until then, peace. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic.